What do you think of this YouTube stuff? Do I look pretty good, don't I?
You look great, Joe.
Right, okay. Well, anyway, I think this is Trish, my good friends. She has been a friend of mine for many years. How long have we known each other now, do you think?
Since the UK. I met you at a party in the UK.
All right. I remember we said we weren't going to go there. That was it was our little secret back in those good old days of the UK. Anyway, it's in all seriousness.
Those were wild times.
There were wild times. Trish is a great artist. I'm at her house in Laguna Beach. Got here last night, actually yesterday late afternoon. Where were you? I was waiting. I saw your little kitty cat. What's your kitty cat's name? I forgot.
Franklin.
Franklin. Why do you call it Franklin? What's the deal with that?
After the president.
Oh, Franklin Delano Roosevelt then? I said, what was, why were you a fan of that particular president, you know?
I don't know, I just kind of always have liked him for some reason.
Right.
I like his wife. And
well, anyway, that's not a very good reason, but that's all right anyway.
No,
we're going to move right on.
I always said that wasn't a good reason, but you know, like sometimes the truth hurts.
I understand. So I've been showing, I showed you a little bit last night, although she was very tired when she got back yesterday. She is a working artiste, actually. She does some beautiful stuff. We got in, I guess, late from dinner last night in Laguna Beach. It's got a beautiful place here, lovely view and all that. And talk to us about your artwork. What sort of things do you do to make a living as an artiste?
I'm a performance artist.
All right.
And I basically paint by rolling on the canvas naked.
Right. All right. Now you're kidding me, aren't you? Come on, you don't do that. Really? Have you done that?
Yeah, that's the new thing.
Oh, for God's sakes, Trish, you're going to be... This is going to... You know, it took me 20 minutes this morning over coffee to talk her into doing this, and now she's gone over the deep end with this YouTube stuff, and she's a performance artist. Well, what do you think of my work here? This is what I did last night while waiting for you. Would you like to critique that for me? I'm going to put it on eBay, or I'm going to auction it off or something like that when I get it famous. Haven't signed it, but what do you think? You can put it here where you can see it in the light. There you go. Tell me what you think about that.
I think it's great. It's very interesting and very abstract. Looks kind of like a bug or something, an insect.
All right, I said it looked like Mothra. Do you remember the movie, the Japanese movie called Mothra? All right. What tips would you give me if I were an aspiring artiste? How did you start out? What if I've got a lot of viewers here, a lot of fans who might be artists. How do you start as an artiste? What do you do?
Go to art school first, I would say.
Did you go to art school yourself?
Yeah.
Did you? Where'd you go?
To Savannah Art School, Savannah School of Design.
Right, all right. And then what? How do you find where these art schools are? Do you go on the internet or something, or do you just talk to people, talk to artists and all?
I think I had a guidance counselor in high school that told me that directed me towards Savannah.
Right. Now, it's really interesting that Trish and I go way back, actually, and believe me, we didn't...
the UK.
We go back to the UK, but we also have done some work here out in California. When you moved out here to LA, actually, not to LA, but to Laguna Beach. I got very excited because I love Laguna Beach, and you were nice enough to put me up last night. I had a great meeting in Los Angeles in Hollywood with some movie types. It was kind of cool, you know. And now I'm off this afternoon to we got to go up to the John Wayne Airport, I guess, and then I got to go to Chicago. I got a book signing tomorrow. I'm going to see my sister in Wisconsin. Going to visit with my nephew. My nephew has agreed to drive me down to Chicago to the book signing, which will be cool. But actually, you and I connect through my books. You actually did something for Gustav's Lighthouse, and I will say...
Before that, really, the ones in the UK, I think.
Well, or those were my cheesy works, and you actually did some of those too. Did a lot of those, and those were fantastic. But look, don't mention the UK. I told you not to do that. So here's the deal. You did the illustration, the cover for Gustav's Lighthouse, and you are by far and away one of the top contenders for one of my friends who's actually read the book. You had to read the book because you had to do the illustration, you had to do the cover. Do you remember the book? Do you remember what it was about? Gustav's Lighthouse.
It's about the lighthouse guy.
Right.
I think that I was the model for one of the characters in that, wasn't I?
Possibly, right. And what happened to this guy? Do you remember? Because, I ask all my friends, and they say, oh, no. Yeah, sure, we read it, and then I ask him, tell me the story, and they can't repeat it back. So can you actually remember the story? You had to read the book to do the cover
It's
drawing.
about a guy that has a lighthouse in Norway. And,
Norway, right? You got it right. Yeah.
you know, that's about all I read.
Come on, you don't. Where does he go? What does he do with the lighthouse?
I think he sells it.
Right, he sells it and he moves somewhere, right? This is a quiz now, Trish.
I think he moved to Nantucket or something like that.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, you're giving away the end of the story. That's not. He goes to New York City, you know, and we don't want to give it away because there may be some people that want to read this book. He eventually ends up in Nantucket, right? But we're not going to say why or what he does. He's got a love interest in New York, as a lot of my books do, you know, love interest. So, you were dating some guy last time we talked. Are you still dating this dude?
No, actually, I moved on to somebody else, and
So who's the new bloke?
I can't tell you.
Really? Well, I'm going to have to find out one way or another, but I guess we're not going to announce it here to the YouTube club.
No, I wouldn't announce it to the YouTube club. That would be kind of...
So besides your so-called performance art, I understand that's, you know, very interesting, of course, but I don't necessarily believe that. What are you doing? What sort of art?
Come to a show sometime, I think.
Oh, for God's sakes, Trish, you can't be doing performance art. It's not your style. You're a high-class artist. You do great work. Ladies and gentlemen, she does absolutely fantastic work. Her stuff is awesome. Just absolutely awesome. Right?
I'm not the one to say that.
Oh, goodness. All right. Now, the other thing that she does is that she does sketches of... She does portraitures, right? You do portraitures, right? When's the last time you did a portraiture? Do you remember what you did?
I work from portraiture all the time. I do that kind of thing all the time. So it was probably maybe a couple of weeks ago.
All right. Now, I've challenged Trish. This will not be a surprise to her by any stretch of the imagination. I've asked her if she could do a portraiture of me, yours truly, New Jersey Joe, and she laughs, of course, but I think she can do it. And what I'm going to suggest to her, and you know, by the way, you don't mind that I used your art book here last night, do you? And I had some of your wine. It was delicious, by the way. And I didn't find any erotic pictures in there at all, nothing at all. I was a little bit surprised and disappointed, quite frankly, because...
We can't fit the canvases back in the house.
Oh, we're back to the performance art, aren't we? Well, yes, of course. So, you're willing to do a portrait of yours truly, and I'm going to suggest that if it's good, which I have no doubt that it will be, that we put this as to auction as well. I'm going to put both of these things up for auction. This Mothra thing that I've done, let me show everybody so they can see the Mothra thing. This is the Mothra thing I did, and I'll probably release that video at some point in time. But I'm also going to do, this, if you do this portraiture, I'm going to put that on either eBay or put it up on YouTube and ask people to bid on it, because you know, of course, that I'm about to be incredibly famous. It's probably the only reason you put me up last night.
Well, you know, you were famous in England with a certain set of people. So,
right.
You know,
The cheesy set.
We weren't going to talk about that.
Right, we're not going to talk about that because that's a whole other part of my life. You know, a lot of my fans are from the UK. I got some fans from the UK, got some friends from Australia, and from parts of Europe that like to listen to New Jersey Joe. God knows why. But I think they're wondering what the hell's going to happen next to this bloke. You know, he's got a very interesting life. Little do they know that I'm bored as hell. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on YouTube, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.